Okay, we are live now.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna go live on. So we're live on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, just gonna go. Okay, so hi everyone. Can anyone confirm if they can see me or hear me? I'd just like to check that if people can see me and hear me. Let me just check. Okay. Okay, so I think I've checked all of the other platforms and we are definitely live. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's just get into it. Thank you again, Onyi, for joining me today.
Mm-hmm. It's such an
Really,
honor for having
yeah,
me.
yeah, I really appreciate it. Okay, so just a quick, introduction. And if anyone is on the call and you can see me and you can hear me, just drop a comment to say, "Oh, I can hear you," or "I can see you." Then I know that I'm audible and the visuals are also okay. Like I can see some thumb ups here, so I think people can hear me. All right, so just before we go into why we are here today, we are here to get the inside details into what it feels like working as an IT business analyst. I know that this is a pain point for so many people. They feel like, oh, I want to become a business analyst, but then they don't know what it feels like to
Mm-hmm.
actually work, as a business analyst. So that's why I've invited Onyi here today, because sometimes it's good to hear from some other people, not just from BME all the time. It's good to hear from somebody else that is living through the process. So, in case somebody says everything is perfect, thank you very much, Tanish. Please, if I don't pronounce your name very well, please, I apologize. Okay, so in case you're joining me for the first time, my name is Ibiemi and I am a senior business analyst. I'm also a career coach and I'm the founder of Innovate Path Consulting Limited. So at Innovate Path, we help you to bridge the gap between your ambition, where you really want to be. You want to become a business analyst, you want to become a data analyst, a project manager, and you're confused. You might have done trainings before. I do get a lot of people tell me, oh, I've done a training before, but then when I joined yours, I got clarity. I was confused and all of that. So if you stranded, you really want to get into the job market and nailed your interviews and all of that, then you want to connect with us at Innovate Path Consulting Limited. Okay, so enough of me. Now I want to hear from Onyi because people are here to listen to you to know what it feels like working as an IT business analyst. And I know you work with an insurance firm here in the UK. So can you just walk me through a bit of your background? Okay,
Mm.
before you became an IT business analyst.
Okay. Again, thank you. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you for having me, and hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. I would. Where do I even start to answer this question now? Well, so I actually studied food science and technology. Um, but if you're from Nigeria, you would probably know that by second year or fourth year, you're expected to do what is called industrial training. You know, one for 3 months and the other for 6 months. So for one of those, I was placed at Coca-Cola, that's Nigerian bottling company, and then every day I was running tests in the water plant and in the pet lab, and that's where you test all the beverages. I mean your Coca Cola, your Fanta, etc. And honestly,
Okay.
yeah. So water plant is where we do all the testing, all the testing for the water, and then pet is for the beverages. So and honestly, I thought is this really it? Will I be stuck in a lab in these big labs for the rest of my life? is it what I will end up doing as a food scientist? Mind you, prior to that, I'll just move back a bit. When I had my YX, so for some reason they didn't release chemistry, and chemistry was my favorite um, subject, and I had strong knowledge of especially organic chemistry. So my mom fought to make sure that result was released, but it wasn't. So I didn't really actually get the course I wanted to do. So I was pushed to doing food science and technology. And so when I did have my industrial IT, what's called IT industrial training, and I was just stuck in this lab. I was like, my goodness, no, I can't be frustrated for life, just stuck in this lab for the rest of my
Mm,
life. Yeah, and the truth is, even though I'm an extreme introvert, like if I take the personality test, is a solid 100% introvert score. I still knew I wanted to do more. I still knew that yes, you're an introvert, but I don't want to be stuck in one lab doing a test, running a test all my life. So I wanted to add real value. Again,
yeah,
I'm also firstborn. And if you know from where we come from, um, you are always solving problems as a firstborn. So you're either solving, yeah, you're either solving parents or siblings' problem. So that problem solving instinct, I would say, was always there. But in the lab, I felt unseen. So around that
yeah,
time, I had this friend who was studying project management, and I had never seen anyone more excited about what they were learning. He would go
yeah,
on about project execution,
yeah.
stakeholder management, engagement, and seeing solutions come to life. So I would say that kind of had a spark, and that spark, it lit something kind of in me. So after NYSC, I went back and did a project, and did a postgraduate diploma in project management, and that
Oh,
was it.
amazing.
Yes, and that was it for me. From there, in the course of doing that, one of the courses that we did was business analytics, and I was like, this.
Oh,
Yes. So one of
okay.
it was business analytics, and then I remember one day they always bring people and they always come to the slum. They would say, "Oh, once someone said they were actually building something at the university then, and either an application, I can't remember, but someone just said she's a business analyst, so this is what they do." I said, okay, what's the relationship between, I've heard
Mm,
this guy excited about project management and this, and that is when I started asking questions. I was like, you know what, this is where I need to be. And so after
mm.
training, I enrolled in a proper training. That was when I knew that this is it for me. And so I had proper training. It lasted about 6 months, I think, for the
Oh,
life
is
of
that
me.
like a boot camp?
No, when I say, I don't know how boot camps. I do see boot camps, but I haven't really. They just call it training. So it's either
Okay.
you train as a product owner or as a scrum master, or you enroll as a business analyst or then project. So I went in for that, and so after that, that was how I got. Not long after that, I landed my first business analyst role, and there's a lot more in between, but that's how the journey started, from the lab
Amazing.
to solving real world business problems.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
really interesting. Like, so I kind of understand where you've come from, and it's
Yeah.
really interesting. That's really like everyone always have like a story to tell. If you don't have
Mhm.
a story to tell, you have to have a story to tell. So we all have stories to tell. So thank you for letting us in on your story. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people are interested in, okay, landing a role as an IT business analyst. First, can you clarify what, when we say IT business analysis, can you clarify what that means for you, right? As because you work as an IT business analyst, and like I always tell people, business analysts have different. there are different reasons why you are a business analyst, and depending on the
Mm,
organization that you find yourself, it's even more different, right? So, and
exactly.
like the domain and the industry and all of that, wherever you find yourself, is
Mhm.
different. So
Yeah.
now we have business analysis, we have technical business analysis, we have IT business analyst, and then we have like the general business analyst, which is where
Mm-hmm.
you do like traditional business analysis. So what would you say, or what would you call yourself as an IT business analyst? What do you do, within your role?
Well, thank you for that. To be honest, if I'm asked, I would just say each organization or sector decides what they want to call you.
Mm.
Because I was hired as an IT business analyst, but then I would say I'm working as a technical business analyst in reality, which I've never done before now.
Oh, okay. Why'd you say that?
No, like the technical, having to do
Oh,
the
it's really
technical.
technical. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in my understanding, prior to now, at the University for the Creative Art, IT business analyst, they would define that role as just you working in the information and technology department and all that. That was their definition of that. But in my
Mm.
current environment, IT business analyst means you're working within the IT team, and the IT team for my environment, current environment, they are responsible for all things IT. They work mainly with the back office and
Okay.
also work, yes, at the back end, which I
Okay.
have never had that experience before now. So that is their definition. They have various teams. So our team is called the IT team. So even the project manager there is called the IT project manager.
Ah,
So
got it. Okay.
exactly. So I think it's domain specific, right? Because we have various business analysts working there. We have those of them that are in the claims section of the organization. I don't think they are called IT business analysts, but for me, just because I work within the IT team and we're responsible for everything IT, so I'm being
Um,
called an IT business analyst, but the role I am now doing in reality is more of that of a technical business analyst. So I don't know if that makes sense. I think
that makes
organizations,
a lot of sense.
yeah, so when you see all this, was just forget about it, just apply. It's just what organizations decide to call it. In reality, it's just that I'm working within the IT team. They have other business analysis,
Mm,
business
okay.
handling
Yeah,
in,
that makes sense.
yeah. So I'm just
So
working within the IT team.
yeah, I get that. So that leads me to another question, which is something that just came up in my mind now as you were talking.
Yeah.
So if you throw back to your interview, what would you say stood out that told them, oh, this is the right person? Because I know that there might be so many people on this call that are struggling with interviews at the moment. They are seeing job
Hmm.
descriptions. Some of them, when they see IT in the title, they're like, no, I don't want
No.
that. When they see technical, they're like, no way, I don't want that. So what would you say during your interview process stood out that made them to say you're the person for this role?
Okay. So, I would say from the feedback that I got from the hiring manager after the whole thing, because
Yeah.
we went we went from the first stage to the second and to the third,
Oh wow,
and
you had 3 stages.
yes, the first is like a 30 minutes call from, I don't know whether is the hiring team. I
Maybe
don't
like
know
the
who that.
recruiter or something. Yeah.
Not no, the person is internal. Maybe
Oh,
from their
internal.
HR, have like
Yeah.
proper. They're asking you like proper interview questions, and
Yeah.
then they'll think, okay, I think you'd be a good fit. I'll put you forward, and then you would have with your to be line manager, and
Mm,
then third stage is that you would have with your line manager and the project manager you will be working with.
Okay,
So,
so
basically,
just to summarize that, your first interview stage was like a recruiter call. So normally they're normally like internal and external recruiters. So you had
yeah,
like the internal recruiter that was from the company itself. Then you
yes.
had the second call with your line manager. Was it just one person that was on the second call?
Yeah, on the second call, it was just and he's even a top, what would I say, stakeholder in the company. So like when they say
Yeah.
manager, you'll be thinking is in my previous place, my direct line manager was the principal business analyst. Well, it
Oh.
was one of the managers, yeah, that was
Mhm.
overseeing, that is currently overseeing all the projects that we are currently working on. So
Oh,
I
got
had,
it.
yeah, it was a 1 hour, yeah, it was a 1 hour
So that's
interview.
the second stage was an hour long. Okay.
Exactly, and then one was also an is physical.
Ah.
It was also an hour. So I would say from the feedback that I got, they said they are big on personality. So he
Mm.
said from the first stage, the feedback they got from the internal recruiter was like, she's big, she's a happy and bubbly person, she's a people's person. This is the kind of person that you will
Oh,
want in
wow.
your team. And that's my natural disposition. Even if the world is crashing down on me, I just wear this. I'm always like bubbly.
You're always excited and happy.
I'm always excited. So he would say he because he kept on saying your personality, and there is something that I observed. Everyone there is as if everyone was handpicked. I'm not even exaggerating.
Mm.
No toxic person. Everyone is pleasant to work with. I've just been there, not like we were discussing, not quite a long time, but
Mm.
everyone is pleasant. Everyone is
Everyone is
welcoming.
happy.
Like exactly, like how did you guys really? They do their due diligence in picking
And
people
picking
that
the
work. So
people
I
they
would say
want.
one person. So one, I would say personality. I did shine through my personality, and then I would say secondly would be I gave real examples. I didn't just say for instance I would say I've worked with Power BI. I worked just give real tangible um, real life example. Make sure that whatever you're telling them, it translates to the JD. You have read the JD. I
Mm.
can't just talk about a project. If I've worked on a project and it's not related, it's not what they want to, how does this project relate to what's the JD, what they are looking for? So everything
Yeah.
I will relate it back to their mission, their vision, and I'll relate it back. Oh, and I saw that in the JD. Oh, that's similar to sort of a thing. So in my time at RT Roadway, blah 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 blah. So that sounds like something that I'm familiar with, and this is how I did it and did it. So I always relate back, let them know that I've actually gone and slept on your site. I've done
Yeah.
my due diligence in understanding the JD. So he gave me that feedback that he was surprised because the first question was that what do you understand about this role? What do you understand you're coming to do?
And
And
some
I'm
people will be stranded when they get that question. Yeah.
exactly. I was like, I understand from the JD that you want this blah 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 blah, and I'm not just listing it. I'm listening and saying,
Mm.
yeah, this place I did this, I did that, and did that, and that is what you need someone with this kind of, and I think that I'm that person. So I gave him. He said he was surprised that someone has read through JD and actually understood it. So I would say that giving real examples, and that is based on my understanding of what they were looking for and then my
Mm.
personality. So yeah.
Amazing. I think this is really, really good because people have come to know what it looks like to work as an IT business analyst, but they're getting anyone that is really, really good at picking up things would know that they are getting interview tips literally.
Yes,
This is
you
something that
must.
you want to take away
Exactly, you
and
must.
use,
Your
as you progress in your career. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think you've already talked about you kind of covered quite a number of questions that I had in my mind as
Yeah.
well. And I wanted to ask you, you know, what the process was like securing this role. But I think you've already touched on it. But do you just want to tell us, because I know there's so many people that, are immigrants, they've recently, immigrated to a new country, and so many people think it's absolutely impossible because some people have been in the job market for a while, and some people, they just feel like it's ruled out, it's cancelled, I cannot do this. But some people have tried, but they're still stuck. And you already gave a very good tip. You have an interview, look at the job description, let the interviewer feel that you
Mm-hmm.
care about the job that you've applied for. It's so important because based on what Onyi said as well, it worked for her because she kept on referring back to the JD, to their company and things that they want to achieve and all of that. So it's really good. It's really, really important that you take that away from today's session. So how long ago did you migrate to the UK? If that's something you want to share, if not, then that's fine.
I would say a little longer than 4 years now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So again, that just tell people that it is absolutely possible, even as an immigrant. There a lot of countries in the UK are really diverse now, and they are very inclusive. So don't be let down by anything. Just know that it's absolutely possible. And you talked about your interview process. You talked about what helped you to stand out. Was there any other thing you wanted to add to that as well? The reason I'm asking that again is because I do know that so many people have done 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 interviews. You'll be shocked. There's some people like that. And there are some people that have yet to land their first interview. And they hope that they will just do one interview and get in the door, literally. So, is there any other thing you want to add? How did you prep? Did you get a mentor? Did you have to read your interview questions to a mirror or to your? Just tell us what your prep was like, the resources you used, and things that can help people that are on the call.
Okay. That's a very good one. One thing again that I'm big on is I'm big on mentorship, and I do not have apologies to say that I'm a believer. I'm a Christian, and I'm big on God first, and I'm also
Mm,
big on. There is I know that some of us might not be Christians, but there is this thing called favor. It really works. I don't know if other people believe in it, but I believe in it because I would say this is by far the easiest interview that I've had. How do you explain you just have one question about how do you understand, what do you understand about this, and it was just all conversation and laughs till the last minute. So, but aside that, I am big on mentorship. I have mentors, and that these are people that have been in this industry
for a
um,
longer time, yeah.
longer time, as long as 12 years. So I'm
Mm,
blessed with amazing, two outstanding mentors that always hold my hand. They will say, "Oh, Oni,
mm,
you graduated with first class. You have a distinction. You burnt the midnight candle and you want to give up now. You can't
mm,
give up now." So to anyone who is feeling stuck in their
yeah,
job that doesn't pay, I have been there. I have I have the first class, but I did a little bit of the menial jobs, what people would say are menial jobs.
yeah.
But I would also advise you get accountability partners, join a community. This helped me. One, mentorship. I have mentors that kept pushing me. You can do it, even when they were saying, "Oh, this sector, this domain is kind of this." And I had this mentor that kept telling me, "No, no, no." The mentor would tell me, "The people in Bank of England, you don't have two heads. No, you have to be.
Absolutely. That's why I tell people as well that
You have to
nothing
have
is impossible. Yeah.
something. nothing. You have to have mentors that they are a picture of where you want to be. So I have mentors that have worked in these big places that I mentioned, and the both of them will always keep putting your application for this. I'm like, no, 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 the imposter syndrome. I was like, no, I'm
Mm.
not. Only I need you to put in this application. So have a mentor, someone that will push you, that will encourage you. That helped me a lot. It helped me, would I say, come out of this hour, from where we are coming from, to come out from that space of thinking it's not doable. Because when I
Mm.
see these people, they've worked in these high and mighty places, they are excelling, they are now consultants. I'm like, okay, I can do it. Secondly, was I have this big community. I still have them now. We call ourselves a group of, maybe some of them are even here, group of BA friends.
Mm.
These are people already working as BAs, just maybe like a few still in the job market. So we have times where we make our time to, like, okay, have someone on
Yeah.
what we call hot seat. Do you have interview? We help each other prepare,
Mm.
sit
I
down
love
to.
that.
Yes, so I have these two separate groups of BA, just BA friends. So that
Mm.
it helped me to have like sort of accountability partners who will help
Yeah.
me like
Yeah.
see that I have to apply for this. What are you still doing? And by the time you see this person celebrate, I just got the role, guys. Everyone is celebrating. You will just sit up and say no,
I have
and then
to do this as well. Yeah, I
it's
just want to touch on that because um in one of my cohorts, I had this, and I did not tell them to come together. They just picked up themselves. There's about six of them.
oh
They
wow,
picked
yeah.
up themselves from the cohorts and they
Mm,
became best of friends, holding themselves accountable, applying for jobs and getting jobs, right? And they just kept on supporting each other. So yes, accountability is really good
partners.
because it's very easy for you to give up on your dreams, on yourself, even
Yeah.
outside of career. And you
Mhm,
talked about mentorship. Obviously, that's a given. That's what I do anyway. But I also have my own mentors as well. I was just
exactly.
speaking to my mentor today. She was putting me through on a lot of things. So mentorship, 100%. You also talked about accountability, which I 100% recommend because when I look at the success rate of those people, there's about six of them, and I see how much success we've recorded from that particular group. There's only
Hmm.
one person, and guess what? Five other people are around the only one person, and they're saying, you know what, you,
Exactly.
you must get this. So yes, I'm really big on that. Was there any other point you wanted to add to that as well?
That's it. Like, I just want to. That's it. To be honest, like I said, I'm an extreme introvert. I just like being
So did you
introvert.
prep on your
Yeah,
own? Like,
yeah. Like, I like studying on my own. I don't believe in
oh,
group studies and all that, because I was like, okay, I don't know. I prefer to study on my own and then come out to teach what I know. So
what
in
you
school, I
know?
never have to do all this group studying, but on this journey back then, I
Yeah,
had to, do lots of collaborations,
yeah.
of team learning, exchanging of ideas. We
Mm,
identified ourselves by those that maybe we, I don't know how, maybe we felt like these were just vocal or were too
yeah,
hungry. You just have to be hungry to really get there.
yeah,
You have to
yeah,
be hungry, because if you're not hungry, the market is highly competitive. So
yeah,
you have to
100%.
be
Yeah.
hungry enough. So we were like minds. We were all hungry for it, and then
Mm.
we, as individuals, like I mentioned, we also had mentors that were backing us up. And what are you
And
doing?
pushing you.
You can't have
Yeah.
the first person. You're just sitting down, and so it's good for some persons like me that might not like that group. I know it's, to be honest, I feel weird even till now sometimes talking on the group. Sometimes I just reach out individually. someone now, because we are all working, someone reaches out and drops something to start typing on the group, and everyone is just tiring. I'll just call you simply, bros, you mentioned this. Okay, this is how I think you should do it and do it and do it. But please have a mentor, have an accountability group of friends
Mm,
that have the same vision, that have the same hunger, the same
like
passion that
you. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
your vision. Yeah, that is
I
really very
agree.
important. Very,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I wanted to ask as well, because you touched on something that wants to lead me to what I want to
Mhm.
ask next. Where did you find the role, this role that you have now?
Yeah, it was on Glassdoor.
Oh, Glassdoor.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone can hear now. Don't sleep on Glassdoor.
Don't sleep on,
So
don't
did
sleep.
you when you found it on Glassdoor, you clicked apply. Did you have to submit personal statements, cover letters, or just your CV?
To be honest, I can't remember for
Or you can't
now.
remember?
I think, okay, I think when I wanted to leave my previous company, um, and I was submitting my CV and I wasn't getting anything. My husband advised me, because he's also a data analyst. He advised me, the way you're submitting CV through this um, job apps, it doesn't work. Go onto the
Mm.
website of those companies
Yeah,
and
I
apply.
normally tell people that as well. Yeah,
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 so
you have to go
I
to the
think
company.
that was the strategy that um, I changed, and then that worked kind of, that kind of worked, that landed me this role kind of. Yeah, I stopped
Mm.
doing easy apply. It will take your time. Just imagine, I was working also as a business analyst. I was working, and then you still sometimes you're having a hangover from work, and then having to now go on the company website, even if it's 5 a day.
Yeah, it's
It's
tougher, but it's more
tougher,
efficient for people.
it
Yeah.
makes all the difference. And another tip would be, on Glassdoor, you're able to sift, filter down to jobs that were just maybe put out there, that were just advertised between the space of 1 to 3 days. So I just
Mm.
focused on that. Yes, I focused on any job later than 3 days. I don't bother. So these were
Mm.
the strategies again that I got from my group of friends. You know, uh,
Amazing.
yeah, God bless Promise, if he's here. Maybe he's here. Yeah, so it was part of the strategies that we use. Glassdoor, you filter down to 1 to 3 days, so that even if they, because I don't even blame these organizations. They can get applications as much as even 1,000. So most times, who have a lot to do, they can just filter and say,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
these are the
And the
people.
way it's because I've used some of these platforms before to do recruitment, and the way when you get so many applications, trust me, you can't even look at
And you can't.
80% of you can't look at it. You're left with 10%, and sometimes you end up reviewing the people that just submitted early, the ones
First,
that submitted very very early in the process. You don't really get to them. You see the people that, so say I review it today,
mm-hmm,
what LinkedIn will be presenting to me is the people that submitted yesterday.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
it's tough. I do understand. Okay, so now I want us to go into the role, because that's why we're here today. We want to know what it feels like to work as an IT business analyst and
Oh,
just to get more insight. But before we go to that, I saw a post from you on LinkedIn, and you said, um, you've recently started a new role as an IT business analyst at AXA Partners UK and Ireland, and you've joined the team driving migration from a legacy data warehouse to a modern data lake and Power BI environment. Now, that is a bit technical for a lot of people. Without,
oh,
obviously, with considering data protection and all of that, can you just tell us what that means in basic term for people that want to go into technical business analysis, IT business analysis, and they just want to know the T behind this role so that they can, confidently say, oh, I know what it feels to do a data migration project or to move from a legacy system to a new system and all of that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. To be honest, I didn't even think it. So I sounded technical, but maybe these days people around me always tell me, just in space of 1 month, you're sounding too technical. What is wrong with you? I wouldn't even
Yeah.
know. I did it. It's just one of the easiest things. So, um, in simple Nigerian laid back um, uh, language,
Language. Yeah.
I would say that's how you want me to explain it, right?
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be in Nigerian language. It just has to be like basic layman term because I do know that so many people on the call, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram might not be Nigerians. So yeah.
So, how do I explain this in the most commonest? Okay, I would just say, for instance, with the um, with emerging technologies, right? Now, for instance, I would say you have your information stored in Nokia 3310. And then, but with the way emerging technologies, they are coming out daily, and the way maybe the kind of job you're doing currently, the way the demands of your job,
Mm,
Nokia 3310 can no longer serve you. And so your
that's it.
line manager comes and tells you, you have to move every information that maybe the phone, let's say the company gave it to you, and they would say you have to move every information we have on Nokia 3310 to maybe, I would say, iPhone, I don't know what number we are now, maybe iPhone 15 or iPhone 16.
Yeah, 15 is okay. Yeah, for now. Yeah.
So for you to move information between this, just imagine moving from Nokia 3310 to an iPhone. There are procedures involved. You have to find, um, what do I call it? I don't know how to explain it non-technical way. You have to find like a way to move your information from this system, from this phone to the other phone without losing it, while still maintaining data integrity, basically.
Definitely.
You have
Yeah.
to make sure that every information that is vital that are contained in your Nokia 3310 are safely
Mm,
moved, while also removing the trash that you have in this old phone. You don't want to move them to corrupt this new phone, sort of. So that is the like I was telling you, I'm not allowed to speak much
definitely.
about.
You have to. You
Yeah,
have
but
to. Yeah.
we are we are just decommissioning a legacy system, and by legacy system means a system that has been used over the years for as far back as maybe 30 years now, and then moving to a modern day way of storing information. So we are decommissioning the old and moving to the new. So this is just a part of the big migration that is currently going on. We have, like I said, business analysts working in various aspects of this decommissioning process. But I was assigned to work on the data aspect of the migration process.
Mm,
So we are migrating data from the old to the new, and there is a lot of procedures involved in doing this. So, in simple layman's terms, that's how I can explain it. Yeah, that's what I am doing. So there are a lot of technical things you have to um, maybe find out. Maybe in this old phone, you stored this name as Oni Amechi. You're sitting down to map out, okay, in this phone, is it going to be named as maybe a name, first name, surname, all those conversations you're having it with stakeholders. You're trying to understand in this new system, how was data stored and how will it be stored in this new system. So you're doing what we call like a data lineage. You're tracing, oh, where is this source of information coming from originally? So those are the things I'm currently doing now, sort of mapping out data. Where was the source of original source of this information? And you're kind of drawing that line we call data modeling, mapping, and then saying, okay, in this new system, okay, was there any kind of transformation? Was there any form of calculation? Was there any form
Mm,
of logic involved in saving this data? So that's also you're also analyzing, also consulting stakeholders that were in charge of managing that whole system to say, how did you derive at this number or whatever? How did you calculate that? Then you're also speaking to these people. Oh, we have this as this, and these were the calculation and the logic that went into this. And so,
mm,
how are we going to now translate this into this new solution? So, you're moving from an on-premise storage device, maybe a physical storage device, to then to a cloud-based device, a storage device. I'm just using device that would allow you
mm,
to even do more, allow for scalability, and then as business evolves, and then as we have disruptions from various digital, what do I call them now? We have various, AI interruptions and all that. We have various digital interruptions in technology, that your business will still be in business, that business still has the sustainability to still thrive. That's just
mm.
in simple
That
terms
is
what
a
I'm.
very beautiful summary. You just literally, you have just taught people. I hope people are taking notes and taking a lot from here. You've mentioned data lineage, data modeling, okay, identifying what the data is like in the legacy system and knowing
Yes.
what it would look like in the current system. And I tell you that a lot of projects that are currently being administered now, these are the kind of things they're doing. So many public sector organizations are stuck with legacy systems that are not fit for purpose, that do
Opposite.
not serve them anymore, and
Mhm,
they're now looking to migrate into new systems. With the
mhm.
rise of AI as well, you'll be shocked that a lot of big organizations now have their AI tools. So you
Yeah.
might not use ChatGPT, but
Mhm.
these organizations have their own AI tool, which they
Yes.
build
Yeah.
and which they need BAs, PMs, product owners and all of that to work
Mhm.
on. So
Yeah.
again, you did mention things like be a fighter, be someone that wants to learn. So I'm expecting that if at the moment you heard data lineage, data mapping, and you don't know what it looks like, or you don't know what it is, you just literally do your research. You also, I love the analogy where you said a Nokia 3310, which would
And
stand for a legacy system, right?
mhm,
And
mhm.
you talked about the iPhone 15, which would stand for the new system. And obviously, as a BA, you would then need to identify your subject matter experts,
Mhm.
because she mentioned that these people know about the system. So these are the people that you would work with to
Yeah.
know where not to break anything. And if you want to know everything about where they're coming from, your SMEs are always there to help you. So I really love that explanation. So in your post as well, you said, oh, you've been tasked with leading, um, identifying report ownership, gathering business requirements, mapping data lineage, and supporting the transition to Power BI reporting. And I think you've
Mhm.
already explained that very, very, very well for us. Thank you so much for that. So I just want to ask people that are listening, do you have any questions? This is an opportunity for you to ask a question. Maybe you're interviewing or you're struggling, there's something that you want to ask. Please ask your questions. I will take them as we progress. I believe I should be able to to say it, but just drop your question, please, and I will answer them. Okay, so just following up on what we've discussed so far, I mean, it's been a very insightful session. I'm sure people are even learning more than more than they plan to learn. Okay, so what does your typical day look like? I know you said you just started the role. It's like a month, right? So you're probably still onboarding, trying to get a grip of it. But for
Yeah.
someone that wants to go into an interview and have insider knowledge
Mm-hmm.
into what feels like to work as an IT business analyst, I want to take something away from here today. What would you say is an insider knowledge to say, this is what I do, or this is what I think I'll be doing in the next couple of months?
Um, oh, well, I would say, hmm, so there are no 2 days that are the same for us, you know. And your day as a BA is determined by what phase of the project that you are in.
I
If
love
you're,
that.
if you're, yes, the phase of the project determines per time what you will be doing. So I believe we should know what our SDLC phases are. So
Yeah,
if we're,
sorry, can I butt in? I don't want to forget this. Now, I
yeah,
love your answer.
yeah,
So people listening, you go to an interview and they tell you, what does it look like to work as a business analyst? You see what Onyi has just said. Please make sure you say that. Don't just
yeah,
go into your crammed answer or the
mhm,
answer you planned ahead. Please, exactly what she said, fine tune it and make sure you're talking like she said. Carry on. Sorry to cut you.
yeah. Yeah, no worries. So it is your life is determined by the project phase, kind of. And if we are at the initiation phase, you should be asking yourself as a BA, what am I supposed to be doing at this initiation phase? Is it planning? Are we still in discovery? Are we in development? So for me now, currently, is a mix of problem solving. My day is a mix of problem solving, translating business needs, and working with data teams. I have to attend their daily stand-ups, and to make sure we are delivering meaningful reports. So right now, I'm working on a data migration project. Like we said, we're moving from a legacy system to a modern data lake to be able to, publish our reports in Power BI environment. So I spend a lot of my time currently tracing old reporting logic. You know, hope I don't sound too technical, but or like I explained, old reporting logic. Okay, these are the reports that we have. These are the data that we have in the legacy system. Are there calculations? Are there manipulations for us to arrive at this numbers? So that's it. That's it in clear terms. Just so I'm tracing my daily life is tracing back old reporting logic, like I said, mapping data lineage in tools like Databricks. Databricks again is where sort of the back end of how this data would sit in our new system. So I'm doing a bit of tracing old reporting logic, mapping into data lineage in Databricks, rewriting metrics where necessary so that they are accurate and future proof, and also making sure that the reports actually meet the needs of our business teams. We have various teams. We have our regulatory and all that, operational, contractual, and all the rest of them. So, yeah, that's why I'm spending my time for this period and for this project currently doing tracing
Based
all
on
the
the phase you are in at as
uh,
well.
yes, writing, and then I'm back and forth. We haven't even gone into proper requirement gathering. But these are we are still in our kind of planning phase.
Planning discovery phase. Yeah.
So for this side, some parts of this migration project has moved far even to deployment, So this is what I'm doing currently. And the tools that I use currently every day now is Power BI. I didn't have that knowledge before now, but I'm learning daily. And my data engineer, an amazing guy, has been quite supportive. A bit of SQL I'm using to query the data in the new system, the new solution. Excel. I work a lot now with Excel. So the things I used to run away from,
Away
they
from.
are
I was
now
just about to say that. I tell
running
because in in
finance.
our in our um in our project management and business analysis training,
Yeah.
in the generous hearts of mine, I give my students Excel for free, and trust me, maybe just 5% out of them take the opportunity. And you can hear from Onyi, she used to run away from them. From now, she's in Excel,
I'm learning.
SQL, and Power BI.
Yes.
So
Yes.
business analysts do
Yes.
not run away
Oh,
from data.
passing. Yes, you do not. The industry shifting. So
Yeah.
I also work with Azure DevOps. That's our project management
To
tool.
yeah.
Track our
I mean,
project.
if you know how to use Jira, you should know how to use Azure DevOps. Although Azure DevOps is a bit more technical than
Yeah,
Jira,
it
but
is.
as a business analyst, what you need in Azure DevOps, if you know Jira, you just need a little bit of brush up to know how to use Azure DevOps. And they don't judge you when you don't know how to use a tool, as
You
long as
don't
you're willing to
you
learn.
like the first few days, they're like, have you used it before? I was like, I've worked in an environment where a team was using it, but yeah, I'm just the lady was like, oh, don't worry, if you don't know, just ping me and I'll just give you a walk around. And I went back to the drawing board to say,
Yeah,
oh,
which I
yeah,
tell people as well, like you don't have to learn Trello, Asana,
yeah,
Jira. No. As
and
long
just
as
be
you understand what it's used for, you'd be able to use it.
exactly.
Okay.
But honestly, I would say, just to add to that, I would say the real tools that I use daily
Mm,
would be clear communication, asking the right questions. These are things that we think they are soft skills, but they are core tools that we use. So I would say my real tools, aside these technical ones, would be clear communication, asking the right questions, and
yeah.
just staying calm when things get unclear. Just sit back, just relax, calm down, think it through. Because just imagine, this is a new environment. I have 1,001 information coming at the same time. I'm sitting with a stakeholder. I'm getting this information. I'm building my glossary. And what I mean by that is that they have terminologies for every domain. I'm building that. I'm going back every day. Oh, what is this again? Oh, what is CMS again? Oh, what is this again? Just clear communication, asking the right question. The job is not just about charts. It's also about making sure people have the right information to make decisions, and that's
Mm,
for me. That's what's making it exciting for me. I'm unnecessarily excited about my job, any job I'm doing. I'm unnecessarily excited about that. I don't know if it's a good thing, but I think it's a good thing because that's the only way, to be. You just have to be happy. We spend most of our lives on this job, so yeah, just the phase determines my daily life. But for the now, this is what I do. This is what my life currently is like for the past weeks, from document analysis to stakeholder mapping, identification mapping, and then now and yeah.
I really love this conversation. So you've all seen insider, I would say insider tip into what it means to be an IT business analyst. Okay, so you're using Excel. So now business analysts, Stop running away from Excel, from SQL, okay, from
Bob,
Power BI, because you've heard it. She's using all of these tools in the role. And I always say it as well. So obviously, if you want to get your hands dirty on
yeah,
SQL, on Python, on Power BI, maybe you already know everything about business analysis and you just want to improve your knowledge in any of these tools, please reach out to us at Innovate Parts Consulting Limited, because we'll be sure to help you to learn the tools and to know how to use them in a project,
yeah.
especially if you want to go into IT or technical business analysis. Okay, so I think we are getting to the end where we wrap up. We have some questions on LinkedIn. And just so people know, we're currently live across LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Okay, so Tanish, I'm sorry if I pronounced you, I don't know want to spell your name, sorry. He's asking you, what are some of the common challenges you faced as an IT business analyst when working across teams or with stakeholders who aren't data savvy? So this is how you possibly work with your non-technical stakeholders, which is something that we find, okay, in the role. How do you overcome them? And this is an interview question.
Yeah, to be honest, in my current environment, it is quite intriguing to know how much of tech savvy that almost all of them are. Even the
Mm,
ones that maybe in an African setting you would think that, oh, these guys are, they're even the ones that you would think maybe our parents' age and you would think they are not. They're even teaching you the SQL, how to write an SQL query. So
mm,
I haven't really had much of that in my current environment, but usually I would use simple analogy, just like I use. I'm good at always
breaking
simplifying,
things down.
and
Yeah.
using the simplest of analogies to like explain, oh, this is the benefit of this. Or currently, this is what you're doing with this. Also, I try to relate it back to benefits. What, when people, every, like for instance, investing in, I would say I'm investing in something because I want to hear what are the benefits. So
Mm,
stakeholders are more receptive if you come from that benefit side of argument, but then
mm,
stakeholders are different. They are quite different. So I have the ones that I might need to use a little bit of emotional intelligence,
yeah.
to, as business analyst, we just it's just a soft skill that you would have to have. Understand your stakeholder. I do lots of personality mapping to understand what's best suited for this kind of stakeholder. So it depends on, there are stakeholders that are detailed oriented. So I'll know, okay, how do I now go deep to break this down in the simplest form and explain it? There are those that I might have to embrace their emotional side. And, so it all depends. I haven't had it in this current environment. I don't know how they are almost all of them for they now are tech savvy. But I've had in the past, I've always used personality mapping to know what's the best way of communicating
Communicating. Yeah.
to the stakeholder. So personality
Yeah.
mapping helps me a lot to know what's best suited for that stakeholder. So I
Yeah.
don't know, answer the question. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and to also add to that is, as a business analyst, one of the very first things you want to do, regardless of if you started the project with them or if you're starting the project, because so many times you can be employed to join a project midway, they've started it, they're in testing, they're in whatever stage. Make
Myself.
sure that you get your hands on the stakeholder list. Make sure you know the stakeholder analysis, where the stakeholders are grouped in. The same way you talk to your stakeholder who you're consulting, because they've got vast knowledge about the project, is not the same way you consult with a stakeholder who you need to regularly inform because they can shut down your projects. So you need to know where your stakeholders are
Mm-hmm.
grouped in. That would help you to know how to communicate with your stakeholders. Because one thing I tell people is
Yeah.
you never want to know, you never want to be in a stage where you are being reported that, oh, she's very bad in communication or she doesn't know how to communicate. So it's really important as business analysts. Thank you for that. And the other question I had from Chioma was,
Yeah.
being an
I just
IT tech analyst, does this
I just
require,
wanted to add to
yeah.
No, no, no. I just wanted to add to that to say that to just to affirm what you said that the first thing I requested from the PM because they were already far gone into the project. This is just the aspects that hasn't been touched, and a
Mm.
lot of other bits of the migration were dependent on it. So the first thing I requested for from her was the stakeholder mapping, and I wouldn't even lie to you. I don't know if anyone can just say it says stakeholder mapping
Oh no,
is
it's
the
not clear.
first thing that I request. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's the first thing that
I
I
think I saw a bit
requested
of it. It's like a scribble, yeah.
stakeholder. Yeah, it says stakeholder mapping. So it was the first thing that I requested from the PM. It helps you know how to
It helps you know
relate to
who the people are in the project, so that
who
you
needs
don't
to.
get it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't step on toes as well.
Tools. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Chama was asking if you need knowledge of programming as an IT business analyst. Now, before you answer that question, did you have knowledge of SQL and Power BI before jumping on your role?
No, I did not. I was just your regular BA who has worked, I would say, in the capacity as a Scrum Master, who has
Ah,
also
wow.
who
So
has
that
worked.
I think that's also interesting for people to know. Like, so
Yeah.
you don't have to like just know how to win in an interview.
Sorry.
Yeah, I said just know how to win in an
Yes.
interview. It's not
Yes.
necessarily having all the technical know-how, the technical skills.
No.
Just know how
No.
to
No.
win them in an interview.
Mind you, the job spec never specified, never said I will be doing anything technical. It just
Oh,
happened that yeah, it just happened that the current BAs are already working on some bits of this migration. And the big one, I don't know whether people intentionally left it, and which, like I said, most part of the migration depended on was this the data side of the migration. So I joined and they said, this is the big fish in the room. You have to jump on it.
mm.
And I
Oh
said,
wow.
oh, I haven't done data migration, this, this, that. So after all this, she was like, do you think you have the confidence to? I said, yes, why not? Let's do this. Let's do this. Happy days ahead. I'm going to pick up new skills. I'm not promising anything, but I know we're
Yeah.
able to. I was like, yes, let's do this. So I was open and honest to them to tell them I haven't done this technical bit. In fact,
Mm.
the managers even started introducing me as the technical BA, as technical BA. It's like, oh yeah, I believe in you. Oh yeah, I believe in you. So
Oh my
that was
God, that is amazing.
I just the first 2 days I came home, I was crying. I was like, to be honest, I said
I'm
I'm
in a
resigning.
technical landscape. What do I do?
I said I'm resigning. I was like, okay, I said I'm resigning. I can't do this. No, this is not what was on the job spec. But
Oh wow.
yes, so that is exciting to actually now see the whole thing bit by bit. By the time I did a BA work breakdown schedule, because I always do that in case the environment is not agile. Um,
Mm.
Client, I do that for myself and say these and these are my BA subs. So the more conversations I have with them, the more I get to understand the
The
project, the
more you
clearer
get better.
the
Wow.
more I plan myself. So yeah, I didn't have to. You don't even have to. Like I told you, I have an amazing data engineer who says, Oni, I'm here to help in case you want to
Yeah,
query
in
any
case
data.
you
And
have
but he
questions or
showed me and I tried it. I was like, oh, there's nothing in this SQL after all, you know. Yeah, he was
absolutely.
he
No, this is really, 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 I really love this conversation. There's so many things that people can take away from here. When you see a job description, you don't have to meet 100% of the job description.
didn't have
Only
to.
secured an IT business analyst role. She did not know she'll be doing what she's doing now. She did not
Exactly.
have 100%.
I know I met maybe 90% or even 80 of what was written there, and I
Wow.
was just thrown into this, and that goes a long way to say we have to be prepared,
You have to be
as
prepared
is.
and know the job description as well. I really, really love this. I hope people take a lot from here. There's so many things that we've covered in today's session. Literally, what we've covered in today's session can set you up for success if you're willing to put in the time that is required to set yourself up for success. Get mentorship, have a mentor, get an accountability partner. It is so important. And don't give up. Don't give up. And Onyi did talk about how she was using Glassdoor and she would filter down by jobs that were posted in 3 days, in 2 days, so that you know that, oh, this job is recently posted. I can quickly apply for the role and I'm almost going to get it. So the final question, I know we're over time. I don't like to keep my lives more than an hour so that I don't bore people. But
Yeah.
the final question I want to ask is, I know you work in the insurance industry. Do you think they wanted you to have insurance domain knowledge or they didn't care about that?
No gatekeeping, my people. No gatekeeping, people. No. No, they didn't require that of me. I don't know. Though when initially I remember asking, someone I who then I considered as a mentor, and I was like, I think it's time to settle into specific domains. And I had that conversation with her, and I said, these are the domains that I think is of interest to me.
Mm.
She goes like, oh, you have to have LM1, LM2. I was like, okay, uh, that means this is going to really take me. How do I combine that with every other thing that is going on in my life?
Yeah.
Um, so I just, but like I said, this other mentor of mine told me when I said, no, this person has mentioned that I need LM1, LM2 to do that. Just let your personality shine. I didn't have it. That's just in a nutshell what I'm trying to say. I didn't have to have the insurance
Domain
sector
knowledge. Yeah. Yeah.
knowledge. And again, maybe it's because again I am not working in that space. I don't know whether it is in that space that would need that. I don't know whether they have the certification. But one thing I've noticed is that the junior BA, there are certifications that she's taking, same for the PM. So I don't know whether I would get to that point where it will be made mandatory for me to take that.
Mm.
But they didn't require that from me. I don't know about the other BAs in other business sectors, whether
Yeah.
they, yeah. So I think it depends on the sector. I think it depends in that, like I said, I'm working within the IT team. So I don't think that knowledge is required,
It's
though.
required. Yeah. Yeah.
though
Yeah. Because you have to know, for a global organization, there are different sectors within the organization, and you are under IT, and there's so many other departments. So, one thing
there
to
are
say from here as
10.
well is that business analysis is not out of fashion. They need you, but you need to stand out. That's just it.
Yeah,
You need to stand out. I love the tips that Onyi has shared. She shared so much knowledge today. And make sure you go back to this recording. This recording will be available on LinkedIn and also on YouTube. make sure you go back there and watch this session. There's so much to take back. You cannot say you really want to get a job and you're not putting in the time.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. So I don't know if there's any other question. Do we have any other questions from anybody as we wrap up? We are wrapping up now. I'm going to ask Unyi to share our final words. But just to check if there's anyone that has got any question before. I'm just looking through to see if there are any questions. Any question? I'm having to go through like different platforms to get questions. So I think it's lagging for some people as well.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't look like I've seen any question yet. Do we have any final questions? I think you can wrap up and just give your final tips, for anyone looking to get into business analysis. You came in through a very interesting way, but you ended up learning project management and then business analytics and business analysis. And now you work as an IT business analyst in one of the biggest insurance companies that is like a global company. It's even more than the UK and Ireland, isn't it? So what would you say you can say to anyone looking to get into the career ladder, excel, excel in their interview, start their role and show up without fear of imposter syndrome?
Okay. So I would say to anyone out there, whether you're in India, whether you're in Bangladesh, in Pakistan, in Nigeria, in Canada, or the UK, and you feel stuck in a job that doesn't pay you what you're actually worth. I have been there, and here is the truth: you don't have to stay stuck. You don't need to have it all figured out today. Today, you don't need to have it all figured out. Even as an IT business analyst, I'm still learning on the job.
Yeah,
You just need to start one step, one course, one community, one tool at a time. For aspiring BAs and PMs, do not just chase certifications. Rather, I would say chase clarity. Learn how business works. Practice explaining things simply. Build your confidence doing by actually doing something,
mm,
not just watching. Volunteer to actually do something to solve a problem or whatever. It's just build your confidence by doing that. You can't learn by just watching. And
absolutely.
always remember, you don't need to be technical. You only need to be intentional, and that's how you make progress. You don't need
Mm,
to be technical. You just need to be intentional. That's how you make progress. So it's doable. It's doable. Do not say the industry is saturated. No, there is you have something that you can bring to the table that no other person has. Whether
absolutely.
it's you're bringing your spice is excellence. For me, I like to bring excellence. That thing that people are running away from. Why are we not doing this? Why are we
Mm,
not implementing this process? You know
yeah.
what that thing that everyone's saying. No, 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 it's not. It's okay. It's okay. I'll just get the dirty job done. You
Mm.
know,
Keep
you
keep
don't
up, keep up with that. Keep doing that. It's
yeah,
gonna
just
pay
you
off. Okay.
don't need to be technical to grab those jobs. You just need intentionality.
Mm.
Yeah.
I really love that. Thank you so much, Oni, again. It's amazing that because so many people like to gatekeep, it's been amazing. It's been
No,
amazing. There's so much to
no.
take off from today. You don't need to be a master before you apply for your next role. Never
Mhm.
give up. Keep
Never.
applying. Go to company websites and stop sleeping on LinkedIn, on job boards. Go to
No.
company websites. Take the extra pain and
Yeah.
apply for your jobs. And I'm sure that your next job is just around the corner. Thank you so much, Onyi, for joining me. And for
Thank.
anyone that wants to know what project management, business analysis, data analysis is all about, please send us a message. You can send me a DM. If it's something you're interested in.
Mhm.
Tomorrow we're kicking off our project management and business analysis boot camp. We've had a lot of success from our previous boot camps, so you definitely want to get in, learn. She talked about how you can volunteer. We work on projects, we work on real projects, because I believe that hands-on experience is what makes the difference. So if you
Exactly.
don't have hands-on experience, you can't talk about it.
Mhm.
you know, Recruiters don't want to hear, I know, I know, I know. They want to hear, I did. And the
I
only way
did.
you can say you did is by living through the experience for real. So please
Mhm.
send me a message on Instagram at IBME Career Coach, and follow me on Instagram at IBME Career Coach. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow Onyi as well on LinkedIn. Her name is Onyi Amechi on LinkedIn. Follow her. She's an IT business analyst. She's committed to sharing about her experience so that you
Mhm.
too can get it as well. Because guess what? Mentorship, what the gifts that come from mentorship cannot be overemphasized. So please
Absolutely.
send us a message, and I'll be sure to get you into the training so that you can be the next business analyst. If it's data you want to learn, Power BI, Python, Excel, SQL, send us a
Yeah.
message. I'll be happy to get you in. So this is where we close the curtain. I feel like this conversation needs to just keep going because it is really amazing to hear from you. You're really like no gatekeeping, and that's what
No,
people want to hear. They want to see no gatekeeping so that they can learn and grow. All right, thank you so much, Onyi. I'm gonna end the call now.
thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you for
Enjoy the
having
rest
me.
of your evening, and good
Bye.
luck. Yeah, good luck with everything you're doing as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.